What's going on, everybody? Matt here. So today in this video I sat down with my friend Joey and I got his reaction to watching Avatar The Last Airbender book number 1 for the first time. We just had a great discussion overall and I got his thoughts on the series so far. But before we jump into the video, make sure to go down below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It does help me out a ton, so please go do that. Also, we did record this in like a podcast format, so just sit back, relax, and listen and enjoy the video. So Joey, you just got done watching Avatar book number 1, season 1 if you want to say. What did you think about it so far? Any thoughts?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. When the show started, it took me a bit to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
You've talked so much praise about this show that I'm like, I need to finally sit down and watch it. So, after a couple times, I finally sat down and got through the first season, and I'm glad I did. I really enjoyed the show. I loved the final, I'd say like 7 episodes. Yeah, maybe 7 episodes. I thought that's right when it picked up and really caught my attention. I'd say the first like half of the season was kind of, I wouldn't say boring, but it wasn't capturing me
Yeah,
like I thought it would.
yeah, I definitely feel that. I feel like the beginning for me was very generic, simple.
Yeah.
They find the kid they've been looking for. But like you said, it starts to pick up towards the end. I feel like the beginning is just very much laying out the world, a
Hmm.
little bit of the story, touching on the Fire Nation, and then it really jumps into the story at some point. Maybe, like you said, 7 episodes down, and then we get to the end. But the beginning's very more kiddish. I'd say
Yeah.
it's more geared towards children, where the
It's
end,
more of a kids show, yeah.
yeah, the end's just dark. It's really dark, those final few episodes in the Water
Yeah.
Tribe. How did you feel about, the characters? So Aang, Katara, Sokka, any feelings on them?
I thought Aang was pretty cool. He's a very interesting character. I wasn't sure how to feel about him because he's very, I mean, he's a kid,
Hmm.
so he's gonna act like a kid. And obviously, in the first couple episodes, I'm like, I like Aang. He's cool. Like, I don't know, he was kind of, he wasn't annoying. I'm not gonna say he was annoying. He was not annoying, but I'd say the main trio are very likable characters. I'd say Zuko is also really cool.
Yes.
I really like his character towards the end of the show or book. The first book. It's not season. It's book. Dude, Sokka. Poor dude.
Poor guy. Poor guy. I mean,
I felt so bad for him. Like
throughout this first season, he goes through a lot. He's very much a comedic relief, but man, he loses one girlfriend after another, it feels like.
I've heard the memes of like his girlfriend turning into the moon. Like, I don't think she'll really turn into the moon. She turned into the moon.
Yeah.
Like, that was, I gotta say, that was a very interesting like story of like the baby was born but she wasn't really alive, and like the power of the moon went into her, so then when the moon went out she became the moon because she had to sacrifice herself for the moon and the planet. I thought it was very interesting. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, I was definitely the same when I first watched it. I was just like, "Oh wow." I didn't expect like this whole like sacrifice thing happening within the story, but it did. And I'm just like, that's hard. That just hit. I'm just like, "Wow." I want to get your thoughts on something.
Yeah.
I compared Aang to Spider-Man. This kid
Ooh.
who takes up this responsibility that they don't want. They don't want to be Spider-Man or the Avatar. They just want to live their lives, but they have this greater responsibility that they have to deal with, figure out how to be this person with this great responsibility. Do you think that's a good comparison?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think it's. I never even thought about that. Yeah, it's actually a pretty good comparison.
That's for some
I mean,
reason
I
when
wouldn't say he's really not wanting to be the Avatar, because I mean, he's pretty like just like yeah, I'll get this done, but he just wants to enjoy life at the same time. But I never got the feeling that he didn't want to be the Avatar. Like
yeah,
maybe I'm just remembering it wrong, but I just never got that feeling from him.
yeah, I guess yeah, you have a point. I feel like there was always like that weight on him that he never wanted. Maybe that's more of what I'm referring to. It's just
Yeah.
like this huge weight. I mean, the Avatar, you're the one and only Avatar, and it's just this huge responsibility.
Hmm.
He has to help end this war, and I just feel like at times he'd rather not be the Avatar. He'd rather just, be out there enjoying life, but
Yeah, I
obviously,
mean, there's that point in the first book where they just kind of show up to this random city and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're the Avatar, you can help us." He's like, yeah, what can I help you with?
Uh,
Like, he's like, I don't even know what to do. Like, what do you guys need?
oh, I just yeah, I love those first few episodes where it's just like, yeah, I'm the Avatar. Hey,
Yeah, that's me. Like, they're like, you've been gone for hundreds of years. Where have you been?
my favorite character in this show is Uncle Iroh.
Of course.
What do you think about him so far?
I love him. I get it. I was like, oh, why people love Uncle Iroh? And I got it. I really get it. He seems freaking great. I can't wait to see more of him. I've heard about things that happen in the later seasons or other books with him, and I'm just like, ooh, okay, this is gonna be interesting. But I don't know. I like it so far. I like his like fatherly relationship with Zuko. Yeah, I like that relationship, and like, it's weird because it seems like because they're part of the Fire Nation, but they seem like they're kind of like loosely hanging on to the Fire Nation. Like,
Yeah, so they might have touched on it this season a little bit. Basically, Zuko is banished from the Fire Nation. You'll learn more in the future. So he's basically like a rogue part of it, I guess you could say.
yeah,
Like he's still, like you said, he's connected, but very loosely. And you'll figure out in the next season coming why that is, and a little more development with this character and Iroh and their story. I mean, I kind of just want to touch on the end because I feel like the end's kind of just the best part of this season overall. Those final 3 episodes in the Water Tribe, I think they're
so
just
good.
so amazing. I think they're part of the reason why I love this season so much. Like I said, the first few episodes they're good, but the ending is just incredible. What did you think about those final few episodes? That whole Siege of the North, that whole battle. What did you think?
It was great. Like that, I'd say that's when I'm just like, okay, I'm ready to watch the next 2 books of this show because it got so good. And my favorite part, I'd say, about these final couple episodes were the visuals. I'd say that's in the final episode though, but I really liked the visual style of it being like black and white once the moon went out,
Mm-hmm.
and like the fire was the only color, or like the water, and like the basically the powers were the only things that like glowed. And as someone who is an artist, I love shit like that. I thought the character development in the last couple of episodes was great. I thought it was cool. I really hate the captain of the Fire Nation so much.
Admiral Zhao. I
I hate him so much, but I love to hate him.
I love his character. You hate him so much, but he's such this arrogant leader, and he has like this calmness to him, even though it's like he has this menacing side as well. And I love that character so much. Sadly, I mean, he died.
Yeah,
But I thought
good.
he was a great antagonist for his first book because he was just, I don't know, there's something about his character that just made me hate him, but I love that about his character.
When he killed the fish, I'm like, you piece of shit. I swear to God. I'm like, I hope you die. Like, that was my first reaction when he did that. I'm like, you're an idiot. You're such an idiot. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh yes, the moon and the, what was the other fish? It was the moon and
The moon in the water? The ocean?
yeah, the moon and the
Some-
ocean. Yeah.
Something like that. Something like
I
that.
I didn't expect them to just be the koi fish.
Yeah. Yeah, that caught me off guard. I was like, whoa, whoa, I love
Avatar's
that.
like, or Aang's like, I'm here to meet the moon and the ocean deities or whatever, and it's like, oh wait, they're in the pond. It's like, wait, they're the koi fish.
I love
That's
that.
interesting. But then right when the moon koi fish is removed, like the moon just goes out. That was so crazy. And
Yeah.
like seeing how like the whole world was being affected by it. And then the dude's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put it back in the water, and immediately fries it.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? You literally just saw what happened when you got rid of the fish from the water.
It just,
So you're gonna kill it?
that moment when he kills that fish, I don't know about you, but it hit me so hard. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my.
Oh, it hit me very hard, and
Like-
I'm like,
Yeah.
I got pissed. I got so pissed. I'm like, Aang, kick his ass. Please kick his ass.
Yeah, I just remember having chills. And like you said earlier, the way they just visually portrayed this scene with the red and the black and white, it just made it even more intense and you just really felt it. And
Yeah.
that the visual aspects on those final 2 episodes or whatever, the final episode,
So the
incredible.
animation just, oh my god, it got so good.
I think that's when the show really took a turn, is those final few episodes where it went from being a kid show to a kid show that is more directed to adults or teens. Because I mean,
Yeah.
later on, like sure it's on Nickelodeon, sure it's portrayed as a kid show, but no, there's such strong themes and messages that just hit harder as a teenager and adult.
I'd say just after watching this first season, I'm excited for all these Avatar projects that are coming up
Hmm.
that were just announced. I'm just like, okay, I'm on board now. I get it. I really get it.
Yeah,
And I haven't started season 2 yet, but I'm about to. I don't know anything about the show, and I'm so glad I get to go in blind to this
that was one of the things
because
I loved is just going in blind because you get to really experience it. Sure, I watched a little bit as a kid, but learning and just seeing all this happen basically for the first time, it just makes it that much more enjoyable.
so okay. I'm seeing here book one's water, which makes sense. That's how the first show ends. They're with the water tribe. So is the second book really gonna be focused on the earth like benders?
It's basically going in how he's going to learn each element. So the
Oh,
first
okay.
book, he knew air, so he learned water. The next one, he's going to learn earth and then fire, basically.
Okay.
And
Okay.
like you said, it really does focus more on the Earth Kingdom and then the Fire Nation in the second and third book. So I'd say we're not completely done with the Water Tribe, but a
Of
lot of
course.
like this book was about the Water Tribe, so we'll see less of them in the
Mhm.
future books.
Yeah, the whole plot of this first season was let's get to the water tribe of the north.
Hmm.
Like that was basically the thing. Like, okay, Aang, we're getting you to the north.
And they did, and
And
it
they did.
and it turned out the way it did, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy fight. Oh, how did you feel about Aang taking on like the Avatar? Becoming in the Avatar state and going into the like giant water monster.
That was cool. I gotta say, I didn't realize when he went into like his spiritual or like when he sat there and like his meditating.
Hmm.
I didn't realize that once he does that, he has to return to his body where it was.
Yeah,
So Zuko's just like, I'm taking this. You're coming with me.
yeah. And then another thing about being in the Avatar state is if you die in that state, it breaks the cycle. So there will be no more avatars after that, which even brings
Which,
more weight into it. Because like, don't mess up. Do not mess up when you're in this state. Otherwise, extreme consequences.
yeah, I gotta say, I love that whole like, Aang just goes full like giant fish.
It's just so enjoyable. It's just awesome to see.
It was so random. I didn't think he was going to turn into a giant fish monster. Now, is there moments like that in the next two seasons or no?
I'm gonna say this: book 2 and 3, they for me took it a whole step up. Like this book for me was like an 8 out of 10. The next one 9.3 out of 10.
Oh, damn.
They take the show a whole step up. They figure out what worked in this first season, what really didn't work, and it goes more story, just more action, more just strong messages and just strong moments, and it just really just picks up in these next two books.
I gotta say, I'm really excited. I just feel so blind to this show. Like, I just can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what else I have to say about it. It's just, I'm enjoying it so far. I thought the first season was really good. And now hearing that the next two seasons are going to be even better makes me even more excited to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this first book, we pretty much talked about everything. There wasn't too much to really cover. Sure, there was like good episodes throughout, but we really covered the ending, the beginning. I think the next two books will have a lot more to talk about, a lot more to discuss. Get your reactions on that.
Yeah.
But do you want to give like an overall score of this first book? Just wrap it all up.
I'd give it like a 7.5 or an 8. I thought it was pretty good, but knowing that the next two seasons are going to be better, I just want to put it there for right now. I might move it after, but right now I'm going to give it like a 7.5 or an 8.
Yeah, I totally agree. I can see where you're coming from with the 7.58. I mean, I feel like it definitely has work and it has something to build on. I think definitely the future books will bump up your score. I think you'll see a great increase in just quality and story and just emotion. Yeah, I mean, happy that you're watching it. I'm glad that you're enjoying it, at least for right now. I might have hyped it up a little bit, but I think you will enjoy it. If you did enjoy this first book enough to give it that score, I think you'll definitely enjoy the future books. Alright, so that's the end of the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. I know it was kind of short, but it was kind of like a spontaneous thing we did. But if you guys do want to see his reactions and thoughts on book number 2 and a discussion on that, make sure to go down below, subscribe, hit the like button, it does help me out a lot. And yeah, thanks for listening, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.